Hey everybody, it's HeroicMizu here. In today's video, it's going to be more of an update video. If you saw my last video, I decided to stay at item level 1340 and basically play on my ults instead. Because at 1340, I noticed that the amount of materials that you need is quite absurd. The amount of gold that you need is a lot as well. And for the most part, I didn't have that and I didn't want to swipe in order to get there. So I thought about it and I thought that the best free to play route was actually to play on your ults. So I decided to level up my ults instead, get them to tier 3. Funnel those materials to my main, sell those unbound materials to make gold, and with the gold, exchange that for blue crystals, and with the blue crystals, use that in order to buy tier 3 materials off Mari's secret shop. And for the most part, I've been doing that for about 2 weeks or so, and I hoarded up a lot of materials. Well, what I think is a lot anyways. So last night, I decided to use all the materials that I hoarded, and I thought about it and I was like, yes, it's probably a good time in order to upgrade my gear. Because I was using Max Roll's calculator on gear honing to figure out on an average case scenario on how many mats I needed. And for the most part, I had enough honor stones, I had enough destruction stones, and also guardian stones, I believe. But I did not have enough of the solar blessing and also solar protection as well. And also the enhancement books because they're quite costly, they're quite hard to get. But I decided to go with it anyways. And I decided to hone, and let me tell you, I burned through all my materials for the most part. I didn't have enough destruction stones, guardian stones, and also some of the protection. I burned through them all. And you know, it is what it is. Tier 3 enhancing just sucks, but it's not as bad in some of the games that I played, like Black Desert or RO Online, RF Online, where some of your gear gets destroyed. So it's definitely not the worst. But for the most part, for gear honing, it is what it is. You're just going to have to live with it. And the rates do suck. So last night, when I finally ran out of Guardian Stones and Destruction Stones, I couldn't enhance anymore. So I basically got all my gear to plus 14. 2 of the pieces went to plus 15. So I had 4 pieces left in order to get to plus 15. So I was quite disappointed that I didn't have enough materials. So the next day, which is today, and also the day that I'm making this video, I decided to do another round of dailies, weeklies, basically try to get as many stones as I can on my ult. And once I had enough stones, I decided to go back to my main and try a couple more attempts. So I actually thought about it too. Is it actually worth it waiting for the next reset if I can get to Argos a week early, do hard mode Abyssals a week early? And I was like, yeah, it's whatever. I'm going to just enhance anyways. Because how I think of it is that the solar protection, solar grace, solar blessing costs way more per attempt than actually going in without protection. So based off that, I decided to just do it anyways. I know based off probability, or if you actually calculate it, that it's better to use the protection stones because you have a higher chance of succeeding. But how I look at it is that if you're starting off at plus 14 at such a low rate anyways, and for every fail attempt, you're only getting an additional 1% or so in your artisan energy. So it's going to be low regardless, even with the protection stones. It's not going to increase it by that much. So I decided to just go in raw, and it worked. So I was able to get my last 4 pieces to plus 15 all in one morning, and I was super stoked to actually hit 1370. I know I got super lucky in getting this at such a low percentage, but for the most part, it is what it is. It's part of the game, right? And I know everybody's story is going to be a little bit different in enhancing. Like one of my guildies, he hit plus 12, plus 13, plus 14 all in one shot each consecutively. So everybody's story is going to be different. If I go back to Maxwell's website and actually look at how much materials that I need on average, I would say it's actually quite accurate. So in this first screenshot here that I'm showing you here is a calculation off Maxwell. There's a link down to it in the description down below and also in the comments if you want to access this calculator. But basically this is the average scenario of how much mats that I would need from plus 9 to plus 15 without really using solar protection, grace, and also blessing. When I actually enhance, I use roughly the same amount of destruction stones, guardian stones. I use quite a bit more honor stones. I believe I use around 800 or maybe 900 honor stones. And then I also used a whole bunch of protection stones. But in the second screenshot that I'm showing you here is another scenario. It's an average scenario, plus 9 to plus 15 as well. However, this is assuming if I use full protection. So if I'm using grace, blessing, and protection stones all the way through. And for the most part, I didn't have these exact quantities. And I think I actually came up quite ahead. Because if you look at the bottom screenshot, I definitely did not have 1,483 solar grace stones, 742 solar blessings, and 248 solar protection. So, you know, I'm in between these two scenarios. And I think Maxwell is actually quite accurate for their assessment, for my case anyways. I know there's a large amount of players that are enhancing right now and trying to get to 1370, so we should see a lot of people in 1370 pretty soon in the next couple weeks, especially with the events that are happening. And what's next after this? Well, after you hit 1370, you can do your hard mode abyssal dungeons, get new gear, do your new chaos gates, do the ghost ship if you want. You can also do the new guardian raid, which is Yoho, and on top of it, you can start enhancing again. However, I heard it's actually a lot easier to enhance to 1385. So the reason why you want to hit 1385 is because you're going to be able to unlock the next part in your stronghold for increased honing chances for tier 3. So I highly recommend that you get that so you can level up your ults a lot quicker. But for the most part, once you're there in 1370, it's basically going to be a farming game until new content is being added. Because we already know that Velton is coming, and I believe we have to be around 14-15 or so in order to do Velton. I don't know on the top of my head, but for the most part, you know, you're going to be able to farm, grind, gear up, and, you know, just enjoy the journey for Lost Ark. Maybe you want to do some collectibles, Makokos, or whatever. But that's pretty much it for me. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Good luck to you guys out there with enhancing your gear, and I'll catch you guys next time in another video for Lost Ark. Peace.